My name is James Muniz, and if I may, I'd like to tell you a few things about myself. I'm a veteran, having served 4 years on active duty in the Marine Corps. I was a mortarman assigned to an infantry battalion. Initially, I was the ammo man for this 5-man mortar squad, but as time went on and I demonstrated my proficiency and eagerness to learn with the mortar, I steadily rose in rank, moving up these positions so that eventually I became the squad leader of this same gun crew. And in this position, I was responsible for the training of the Marines to ensure that they could adequately and effectively and safely deploy the mortar when it was needed. And also, I was tasked with supervising the Marines in their day-to-day activities. I walked away from my time in the Marine Corps with two things that has still gone on to serve me well even now, 25 years later, and that's I learned the value of discipline and teamwork. And like I said, I really still use that to this day. From the Marines, I ended up working for United Postal Service as a part-time package handler, working at nights as I went to college during the day. During that time, I was recognized for my hard work and dedication by being selected by my supervisors as Employee of the Month for 3 different months. And even as I was doing this, I was making the Danes list at the college where I was at. After that, I was hired on with the police department. I have 19 total years. 14 of those years has been as a uniformed police officer, where I worked in Rampart Division, Pacific Division, and Southwest Division. I have worked for a total of 5 years as a patrol supervisor with positions in 77th Division, West Los Angeles Division, Southeast Division, and currently where I'm at now in Central Division. As a police officer, I spent 9 of those years as a field training officer, where I was tasked with training and mentoring and developing these new probationary police officers into capable police officers, so that eventually they can go out and work and do the job that they needed to do unsupervised. And I think I did a fairly good job, because I became known as the go-to person for trying to help out and bring up to speed the deficient probationary police officers that were having a difficult time with things. And I did this by instilling in them the trades and police skills that were required to be successful police officers. And I think I did a very good job at that. I've trained dozens and dozens of police officers that went on to have great careers. They are very good police officers. And when I say police officers, they're not just police officers, they're sergeants, they're detectives. They have positions in Metropolitan Division, in specialized units, and everywhere in between. As a supervisor, I've responded to either by myself or with another supervisor and handled complex use of force investigations, vehicle pursuits, location with barricaded suspects, parole, probation searches, locations where an OAS had occurred, and containment perimeters where we were searching for outstanding suspects. In the vast majority of these incidents, I was the first and sometimes the only supervisor that showed up to a scene that was still unfolding, that still needed containment, that still needed additional resources called for. And it's in times like these that you have to be able to multitask and to triage what you have. And I'm pleased to say that I've been to a lot of these scenarios, and I was successful in a lot of these. I'm currently assigned to the Central Area Admin, the Central Area Office of the Commanding Officer, in an administrative position. This has served to round out my experience as a police supervisor, because prior to this I had not been exposed to the administrative portion of the department, and this just serves to round out that experience that I have. And in this position, I am tasked with completing department-generated projects on a variety of subjects, random subjects at that, which could be anywhere from a timekeeping issue to analyzing the work of a specific unit to determine how we can more effectively deploy them, to you run the gamut. It could come across my desk, and what happens is this information, this data that I compile, has to be put together in a report. This report has to survive the level of review, and so it has to be easily understood. The information inside it has to be accurate, and it has to be well written. And when I complete these projects, I submit it to the commanding officer, and I've been pleasantly surprised that the vast majority of my work passes with flying colors. And that says a lot, because what it does is it goes up the food chain from there. It doesn't stop with him, and even then it's subject to multiple levels of review. And all this experience has just served to better round out my experience. Education-wise, I have an associate's degree from Cerritos College in Liberal Arts. I'm currently enrolled in the University of Laverne as a public administration student with an anticipated graduation date of the summer of 2015. And I expect that the education I received at Laverne will further augment and better prepare me for my future supervisory assignments within the department. If I were to make a closing, I would say that the skill set that I have learned in the positions I've held has set me up to be a success in whatever unit I may be assigned to. I'm reliable, hardworking, and I'm a self-starter. I follow instructions that are given to me, and if I have questions, I'm not afraid to ask. I've worked a variety of assignments, and I've been fortunate in that these assignments have afforded me an opportunity to be pushed in leader positions, and they have trained me to be able to make sound decision making.